yo, how you doing, guys? It's one fifth of them boys, me, the one AJ, representing the Ministry of Wrestling. So you know what that means? We're here. And why are we here? Because it's time to climb that ladder of success for Money in the Bank. Yes, 2025 is on the way. We've got two shows down, one AEW, one WWE. Well, one WWE, one AEW. Now let's bring on the second WWE show. It's Money in the Bank. It's a very interesting one. And guys, 4 matches. In a VKM world, it used to be 7. Now we're down to 4. Are we going to be looking forward to a WWE pay-per-view or PLE called Iron Man? It'll just be one match of Iron Person, Iron Man match and an Iron Woman's match, and that will be it. Who knows? But yeah, that's the way we are in a world post R-Truth, post yeah, it's a weird world. It's a weird world, but hey, the shows continue, and that's where we're at. So let's not waste any more time, and let's go with the women's Money in the Bank match. Which way the guys vote? Let's have a look. There are a lot of good female contenders here, and it makes it very, very difficult for me to pick. However, there's only one name that keeps popping up, and I know it's like the ultimate dark horse, but I am going to go for Naomi to win. Yeah, let's extend on this. I don't know why. I know probably I'm the only one on this, but I don't care. It's the gut that I'm going with. Stephanie Vaquer just dropped a title, just qualified, would be really good, but I'm going to stick with Naomi. Look, I'm used to losing at this point. All good.
This is such a hard match to call, this one. This is really, really hard. I'll say this. I don't think it's going to be one of the newcomers, Stephanie or Julia. Let's rule them out. I don't think it's time to put the belt back on Mami yet. So let's rule Rhea Ripley out. But the toss-up between Alexa Bliss, with the recent return of the Wyatt Six on SmackDown, makes it interesting. And a lot of people have thought for the last few years that Little Miss Bliss should be getting the Money in the Bank. A lot of people think Naomi, especially given that she's announced that there's not much time left for her. And there's that ever worrying thing about, are they going to do a copy-paste storyline with Roxanne Perez like they did with, what's her face? Tiffany. Genuinely couldn't remember her name. She's so forgettable. God, this is tricky. I think it's got to be Miss Bliss. I've bet on her in the past, and it's done me dirty at Money in the Bank. I think it's time with the return of the Wyatt Six. This does make sense. I don't believe they're going to go down the emotional route of giving Naomi a run like this. She's going to do some great spots though. And I think Roxanne Perez's involvement, yeah, there you go. I think Roxanne Perez's involvement with the Judgment Day kind of rules it out. So I'm going to go Alexa Bliss to get the Money in the Bank.
Before Stephanie was in this, and I'll start thinking, I had Rhea down. It was Rhea for me who was going to win this, and yeah, it would have been the right person to put it on. I would love to see Rhea carry the briefcase. But the push they give into Stephanie, yeah, got to be the one to win it. Wonder what the case is going to look like. What is Booker T going to be like? Yeah! What's his name? Alexa Bliss could be someone to win it. You know what? I would love for him to get to Naomi, but no. It's going to Stephanie. She's the biggest star right now. I would love for Naomi to win it though. Jade wins and cash against Jade right away. Still hold it down. Yeah. But sticking with Stephanie to win this.
See, even the women's ladder match is a hard match to call. And this time, a lot of NXT talent this time, which makes it very interesting. Stephanie Vaquer, obviously she's newly signed to Raw, so that makes it another easy choice. Like, I really want to say Stephanie Vaquer. Obviously that would be picking with my heart. However, there's a few things that kind of stick out in terms of thinking ahead, and I could say Mami. Obviously, you know, she got a very, very big reaction when she showed up on Raw to welcome Stephanie Fakir to the roster. Um, and that would be an easy pick in itself as well. Roxanne Perez could be the shock win. Even Julia could win. And again, like I said, Stephanie Fakir would win, and that would be my heart pick. But for the heel turn, for the work that she's doing right now, I say the most probable person that could win this would be Naomi. And obviously she could cash in on Tiffany and then set up the triple threat match between her, Bianca Belair, and Jade Cargill, which again would be a very marquee match. So, despite thinking with my heart, I'm going to vote with my head, and I'm going to say Naomi for the win of the women's Money in the Bank ladder match.
The women's Money in the Bank match is quite interesting to me, man. Like this year, there's 3 potential winners here that I feel quite confident either one of them could take it. You got Julia from NXT coming in hot, and they're sort of making a big deal about her, which is great. You also got Roxanne Perez, one of the longest reigning NXT women champions of all time, and she's come in and she's just set the world on fire, man. Plus, like her getting the Money in the Bank briefcase and being around Liv Morgan is a nice contrast, like because obviously like Liv had held that for time, didn't she? Yeah. But then you also got Little Miss Bliss. She's back, and this would be an excellent way to the title as well. And like I'm sure they could deck it out in some type of Alexa Bliss themed garb, if you will. So it's those 3. And this is where it gets difficult. You gotta pick one. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go with Little Miss Bliss to get the Money in the Bank briefcase. Damn. It's gonna be Roxanne in it. It's gonna be Roxanne.
I love it. I love it. There is just so much potential. We're all some are similar, some are different, but it's the way. Yeah, let's just see. Let's see Roxanne win it, and none of us get a point, which would be interesting. But look, hey, quote to Leon. But that's the way, guys. We will see on the day. But come on, Naomi. We'd like to go. Let's feel the glow. But it's not the glow, it's the new Owen Hart attire. But that's the one. Also, when I was like a post our Truth World and post something, Judgment Day was a reminder, a post Carlito world. Yeah, it's sad. But you know what? These guys, as much as they were there, we know that they can do bigger. Carlito in WWC is a huge star. So much so that he even went back there under a WWE contract and won a title. Our Truth is a former TNA champion. Let's bring back Wrong the Truth Killings. Like, yeah, I get it, guys. He just had a main, but yeah, like the 24/7 title was the peak of Ron Killing, our Truth, and that's not what it is. Yes, it was good comedy humor, but let's be honest, Truth could do a lot better. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. It's just the memory kick back in. Let's keep it with the ladies. Let's go for the IC title. Lyra Valkyria, the current women's IC champ, versus the man Becky Lynch. If Becky wins, Lyra has to raise her hand. If Lyra wins, Becky's out of the IC title running. So, well, until Lyra drops the title, that is. But hey, let's see who will prevail in the Battle of the Irish Lasses. Right now, how'd the guys vote?
Something feels odd about another win for Lyra Valkyria. Becky Lynch is obviously a big-time name who, if she loses, can just move on. But they have been hammering the point home about the fact that Lyra keeps beating Becky. I think there's more juice to squeeze in this story. And I think if the man leaves the Intuit Dome with the belt, it can signal a new chapter for the IC belt. I do think, considering how lukewarm people were on Lyra, I think she's done a great job as IC champion. She's really won the crowd over. She's won me over. The story's good. But I do think we're going to see Becky lift the belt here. So I'm going to go Becky Lynch.
Becky turned heel and didn't win. Shock, surprise. But now is another chance, and I would love for Becky to make her own faction, and like Bailey, justice for Bailey. Bailey was promoting for the WrestleMania and didn't do it, and then gave the spot to Becky Lynch. Let's say Bailey gave the spot to Becky Lynch, and then that's why, and then she comes out to help Valkyrie and actually help Becky, and then let Charlotte join that as well. Let the 3 out of the 4 horsewomen team up. You know, the legends, the rest of the newcomers. Yeah, let that happen. But for this match, I'm going Becky Lynch to win this.
For me, I'm thinking, does Lyra retain because of Bailey returning, or does Becky win and then she still wants to get a little beat down on Lyra and then Bailey shows up? Obviously, Lyra has got the better of Becky Lynch twice now. Now she could beat her for that 3rd time and she never gets to be or face her as the Intercontinental Championship as long as she holds it, which could set up that feud with Becky Lynch and Bailey, in which case you don't really need a title for. But then at the same time, if Becky does win that championship, then it could go on to be a triple threat between Bailey, Lyra, and herself, respectively. And the Intercontinental title could be in that as well. But how many triple threat matches are you going to have for a title? That's the only question. But in terms of it moving forward, then I think you've got to get some kind of comeback for Lyra. I thought Becky was going to get it at the last pay-per-view at Backlash, but obviously Lyra won. A lot of us got that wrong as well. We literally thought that Becky was going to win and Lyra took it, which I think sets it up for Becky to take the win here. So, without any further ado, your new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, the man, Becky Lynch.
These cards seem to be getting shorter and shorter, and it's truly a blessing if you're able to make it on there. And hey, Lyra and Becky, they're on there, they're going to do it one more time. And this time, I believe the right move for me would personally to take that title off Lyra. Okay, you didn't want her to totally come in there and get buried by Becky. But now I feel it'd be better to like sort of elevate that title, especially if Lyra has to hold up her hand and like congratulate her at the end. It's a hell of a story arc to come back from. But hey, like, you know, they could just keep with the status quo and keep her going and onto new challenges. We'll see what they want to do. But I'm going to go with the man Becky Lynch for the win.
I believe the man's going to do it. I said it before and I'm going to go with it now. For this feud to continue, Lyra has to raise the hand. She can still fight for it. Becky loses, she's out. So Becky Lynch, the man, for the win. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, not going to go any further. But yeah, it looks like we're all back in the man once again. We backed her last time and all lost the point. And this time we're doing it again. Fortune favours the idiots, as it seems. Yeah, we'll go with that one. And now look, let's go back to the previous one. If Naomi wins, she could cash in on Zelina. She could cash in on Lyra or Becky. It doesn't have to be for that. There is the thing of Roxanne holding the briefcase and cashing in on the tag titles because of the whole Judgment Day element. There were so many aspects, but yeah, just keeping it all linked. Okay, now we've done the women. Now let's move on over to the men's Money in the Bank. There's a few contenders here. One shine out star as far as I'm concerned. But you know what? This has been the year of surprises. Yeet. So let's see how much further we could go with the surprises for the men's Money in the Bank. How did the guys vote? Let's have a look.
This male Money in the Bank, men's Money in the Bank doesn't look that hot. Seth Rollins definitely should be the only winner. The only other ones I can see is like Penta. They give Penta opportunity, but you know the Mexicans always fight the Mexicans. That would be a great push just to give it to him, but there's one Mexican that should get it. El Generico. I would love for El Generico to win, but only El Generico, not Chad Gable. So Chad can't cash in, only El Generico can cash in. But you know what? Fun and jokes aside, Seth Rollins taking this, and that's my pick. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, but yeah, that's what I'm going for.
See, this match is real hard, you know, like obviously you've got 6 very capable superstars, but for me it comes down to just 3. It comes down to Seth Rollins, who would be the easy pick, LA Knight, And if you really want to take the mick, El Grande Americano, they could make him get that briefcase and he just takes the mick week in and week out. We know it's Chad Gable. Now, the easiest pick or the safe pick would be Seth. Obviously, with this faction that he's got going on, anybody would say, well, yeah, you know, Seth could go and win it. And he really could. But at the same time, he's got a lot of heat on his hands right now. You've got CM Punk, who they screwed out of getting a spot in the Money in the Bank match itself. Roman Reigns could make a return and show up. So now he's got two people on his back. And evidently, CM Punk could get caught up in that. So with all this brawling going on, it comes down to LA Knight and El Grande Americano. Now someone could come out for him as well. So that pretty much leaves LA Knight. Yeah. So strategically, and on top of that, with Seth Rollins, he can easily get a world title fight on Raw without the briefcase. He's done the shock thing before. I think that's the best he'll ever do it at WrestleMania. So, yeah, I don't think he's going to go after the WWE title. He's definitely going to go after the world title. So that pretty much leaves SmackDown's talent to do something with that briefcase, which strategically makes me go for, again, LA Knight. So, yeah, I'm going to be brave and say LA Knight for the win. Yeah.
Now, the men's Money in the Bank ladder match is a bit more straightforward than the women's for me. Because I only really see one potential true fire winner, and that's Seth Rollins, man, to do his thing. Because that way he can have the case, him and his faction can relieve the belt of Jey Uso anytime, and Jey doesn't even have to look weak because he can just get beat down, he can get pinned, and obviously he can chase the title from there. So, yeah, it makes the most sense for Seth to win. I mean, I suppose other outliers to win is LA Knight, but I feel given the way that TKO has recently taken to treating older stars, I don't fancy LA Knight's chances. The other is Solo Sequoia, man. At one point, I think they was going to try and elevate him and make him that guy, but it might be a bit too late. I think they might have missed the boat on that one. So he might just be fodder for Jacob Fatu right about now. But if you want to do something with Solo still, he could win the belt. Be an interesting dynamic between those two after that. But nah, man, it's Seth Rollins. It's got to be Seth. Seth for the win.
I mean, I'm going through the names, and I mean, really, the only answer should be Seth Rollins, isn't it? Let's be honest. Solo would be an interesting dynamic. You could even cash in on Jacob if he won that. El Grande would be hilarious, and I think that would then saying that El Grande should have been the Chad Gable should have been Mr. Money in the Bank. That would also be another dynamic, but no, the composition's not there. Seth Rollins for the win, but I'm slightly hoping for El Grande to win it too.
An incredibly hard event to call this year. There is stock to be put in Solo Sikoa, given that they're teasing the whole Jacob Fatu thing. But the last time they had someone flirting with the US title off the back of winning Money in the Bank, it didn't really end well, right? There is something to be said about Solo versus Jey Uso writing itself, which is why I'm contemplating Solo. A lot of people are saying LA Knight. I don't see it, man. I just don't see it. I know that with the example of John Cena, WWE is not averse to giving us shocks, but I do think for this one, the only logical scenario is having Seth take that briefcase. Yeah, it's been done before, but he's arguably in the most interesting storyline on the main roster at the moment with his new group, so it has to be Seth. Surely Seth. I don't see anyone else. So yeah, Seth Rollins.
Now look, okay, we've got one man who's gone LA Knight. Everyone else has gone Seth. But the more I stop and think, it was a throwaway comment. Solo could cash in on Jacob. I forgot that Jay-Z's actual brother. So there's two angles of a story right there. Solo could go for Jay, the World Heavyweight title. Solo could go for Jacob, the US title. Solo, to my knowledge, and I could be wrong, was the last man to have pinned John Cena. So there's a lot riding in Solo going for the title because he has a lot of opportunity. So you know what? Maybe Solo should be the one. However, I've said what I've said and I'm sticking with it. So you know what? Let's burn it down a second time. But could you imagine the showdown, the dynamic that is JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu staring down Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed? Oof. Fights on the outside if needs be, but you know what? Let the guys cook who are in the match. Let's not focus too much on the outside factors. But here we go, talking outside factors. It was the outside factor that determined this match to happen because when it was Logan versus Jay, somebody else got involved. And then following that, somebody else got involved. So let's do it, guys. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, former tag team champs, take on the last real champion. And the partner you couldn't see him tagging up with, Logan Paul. Here we go, guys. The main event. Fun fact, I had to record 2 videos on this one because I wasn't sure which way to go and I've had to just battle myself and go with it. But that's the one. Also, me saying Den said Chad Gable should be a Money in the Bank champion. That's from a previous video. I don't watch the videos and go with it. And on top of that, he didn't say El Grande. He actually said El Generico, who would be Sami Zayn. But do you know what? I'm also thinking of that, and I would love to see a feud where he keeps doing what he's doing and El Generico gets involved. And it's like, I don't blame Sammy. It was El Generico. I don't know this guy. You know, let's see Generico versus El Grande. That would be a good bit of humor. Both guys would deliver the entertainment as well. But anyway, let's get on to the main event or potential main event. I don't know which way WWE is going with it. Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, Logan Paul. Which way did the guys vote? Let's have a look.
I'm really trying to see where they're going with this match. Not to mention, I don't know whether it's going to be the first match on the bill or whether it's going to be the last match. It's been a very long time since the Money in the Bank briefcase match in itself has been the main event. Usually 8 out of 10 times it's the championship match because they want to tease whether there's going to be a cash in or not. And obviously a couple of times people have cashed in on the same night, so it kind of leads that match to be very interesting. But I don't know where it's going to be on the bill. I don't know if it's going to be in the middle, at the end. But I think it's more than likely going to be after the men's Money in the Bank briefcase ladder match. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see what's going to happen there. I don't know if Cena's going to take the loss or if Logan Paul's going to take the loss, because obviously that would make the crowd very happy. And no one can't really stand him. But at the same time, I can also see Cody Rhodes getting the pin on John Cena, which sets them up for another match. As there ain't no real contender to John Cena's championship right now. So, yeah, I think, thinking with my head, I think it's going to be Jey Uso, yeet, and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes for the win. And who takes the fall, I'm not really sure, but they will take the win, and what happens after that, again, will be interesting. But yeah, yeet, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes for the win.
You see, this tag match, like, it is actually very hard. I think this is the hardest match on the card to predict this year, really. Because why? You've got 2 very popular stars in Cody Rhodes and main event Jey Uso, man. It's Cody Rhodes' return as well. Do we really want Cody to lose straight away? But then, of course, Cena is on his all-time, like, mighty, like, last crusade, yeah, and he hasn't been pinned yet. But since this is a tag match, and we got Logan Paul in this match, we can pin Logan Paul. So I reckon your winners of this match is going to be Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. They've got to, because again, you don't want to put the world champion in a position where he's always looking weaker than the WWE champion. That solidifies what people actually think of that belt. So yeah, I'm going to go Jey and Cody for the win.
Look, Jey and Cody have won tag titles. That's how far back they go as a tag team. No titles on the line means Cena can lose in this victory road lap, and it gives Cody a chance to be like, well, you got pinned or your team lost, so I'm back for my title. Yeah, let's go for it. Cody and Jey for the win.
Is it too soon for WWE to run back Cena versus Cody Rhodes so soon after WrestleMania 31? For me, the answer is a resounding yes. The last real champion, despite this run not being great, the last real champion does still have something in the tank, and there's definitely more to get from the story here. So I don't think putting the belt back on Cody so soon is advisable. That doesn't mean it won't happen. The problem is that if the American Nightmare is back in the picture, it completely shuts the door on all the other potential face-offs that Cena can have, be that against CM Punk, against Sheamus, any of his old rivals, and it also doesn't allow enough time to cook for Cena's inevitable and eventual return to being a babyface. It's too soon. So I actually think the heels are going to get the pin here, so I'm going to pick John Cena and Logan Paul.
It's crazy that both the champs are tagging together. It's mad. There's no stakes in this match then. It's just fighting for honor. With that, it should be the babyface going over, right? Because it makes sense. It's not for the title. Babyfaces win, and that shows that builds for another match for later down the line. Because, you know, Cody's going to have his rematch soon. But with that said, there's someone here to ruin wrestling, and let him ruin it with a YouTuber and a singer and stuff like that. Let him do it with everyone that's not wrestlers. So I'm going for John Cena and Logan Paul to win this. Oh, that's gonna kill. But yeah, that's who's winning.
Oh, it's a tough one. Oh, it's a tough one. Yeah, I'm sticking with Cody and Jay, partially because Cody's just come back, partially because Cena doesn't have to eat the pin in this quest. But I understand the logic of the others. I mean, Nico's saying that it could ruin it, the run, if Cody's back in the mix. It could win and lose on the one-on-one again and be out of the picture and then have to beat somebody else later on. There's 101 different opportunities out there. You know, that could be the perfect Cena face turn. He helped Cody. He's realized the error of his ways later on down the road. Anyway, look, 101 possibilities. That's not what we're discussing right now. We're discussing Money in the Bank. The card is short and sweet, so why should my prediction be long and boring? That's the one, guys. As always, please do comment below because we'd love to hear from you. And yeah, like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you get all the info that you need on everything M-O-Dub. Okay, until the next time, I am the one AJ, and I am out. See ya.